The headlines upgrade of the old Honiara InternationalWAF will no longer involve simply refurbishing the existing structure, but will instead include a complete replacement of the wharf. Nurses in Solomon Islands join nurses around the world to observe the International Nurses Day, and the second phase of the cleanup and assessment of the MV Solomon Trader oil spill has revealed that the extent of damage to marine areas is greater than previously reported. Hello, you're watching SIBC's TV News Bulletin. I'm Sharon Nanao. The upgrade of the old Honiara InternationalWAF will no longer involve simply refurbishing the existing structure, but will instead include a complete replacement of the wharf. Minister of Infrastructure Development, Honorable Ricky Fuo, made the statement in response to the opposition leader question on the old Honiara InternationalWAF upgrade project. Honorable Fuo said the revised design of the wharf is expected to be finalized in June. The project is expected to cost around 380 million Solomon dollars.
The project was just supposed to replace, reconstruct one of the sections of the berth 1 of the international port. However, due to assessments that was carried out, it found out that the other section, so the berth 1 has two sections. One was constructed in 1983 and the other was later constructed in 1988. So the initial project was supposed to just redo in 1983 section and a little bit touch up now on 1988 section. However, with the assessment that was carried out, finding that the 1988 section of berth 1 needed replacement altogether instead of just a refurbishment. So basically now we have to, before go back to design more, which is expected to complete by May and then finalizing it by July. So that's the current status of the project. So just on figures, no more the original the amount that was allocated for the project was the 193 million. However, with these findings that we had, so increasing project golona 380 million. So once design is finalized around July, we should start commencing construction.
Opposition leader Honorable Walle in questioning the project's cost question, whether government should consider having Solomon Ports fully fund the project rather than acquiring financial support through a loan and grant arrangement with the Asian Development Bank, ADB. SIBC News understands that the project's funding arrangement will involve a shared responsibility between Solomon Ports and ADB. The ADB will provide the necessary financial support through a combination of loans and grants to the government.
Understanding from Solomon Ports, sir, is that half by me come out from cash reserves below Ports Authority, and then another half now come out from ADB. Of course, this is a project that Ports have built himself. No need for give him out any contractor. They cost hemi barava high. We have a terrible history in these cost overruns and budget overruns and over something here. In front of Hyundai, you will see, Mr. Speaker, Ports building domestic wharf lot there for around $26 million. And of course, the upgrade over Dimlo Noro, they did that themselves also for a fraction of the projection where Minister Hemi Talam come in. From the internal information from Ports, the projected overruns in Vogoho over 700 million. So obviously, we're not getting the full picture in terms of design implications or the cost implications of the redesign. But however, sir, so my question is, why are we seeking for this to be done by ADB and to be contracted out when Ports can do it within its cash resources? And if they need to borrow, they can borrow directly from ADB to do it.
Meanwhile, Minister of Finance and Treasury Honorable Hari Kumar assured Parliament that the funding arrangement had been thoroughly negotiated and agreed upon by all parties involved.
This project comes under LMCP program with the Asian Development Bank, and it is a program that has been negotiated and agreed on for a very long time. Consultation may be done with Ports Authority as well, and as well as Ministry of Finance and MID. And at that time, Portem actually accept them together with the government to have this loan. And of course, taken by the ministry, the government, and then on lend to Ports Authority. And there is always a government contribution to these loans, one in terms of in-kind, maybe tax exemption on some materials also. But of course, Port can put in any cash contribution towards that as well. In terms of cost overrun, we understand that because of delay and time drag along the project here, there is always a cost overrun on project as times move on, cost of things moves on, increase also. So there is opportunity as well. The government can, and together with the port, can talk with the Asian Development Bank on those aspects.
Now, nurses in the country joined colleagues worldwide in marking International Nurses Day. Celebrating under the theme Our Nurses, Our Future, Caring for Nurse Strengthens Economies, with a special service held at Wesley United Church in Honiara to honour their critical contributions to healthcare and society. Alex Dadamu reports.
Nurses in Solomon Islands join other nurses around the world to observe the International Nurses Day today. Celebrated under the theme Our Nurses, Our Future, Caring for Nurses Strengthens Economies, the day honors the vital role of nurses and highlights the impact on global health and the future of healthcare. In Honiara, the Solomon Islands Nurses Association organized a commemoration service at the Wesley United Church. Association President Michael Cafaniro, during his remarks, highlighted the invaluable work that nurses do daily despite the challenges faced.
This day is dedicated to recognizing and appreciating the invaluable work that nurses do every day. Today, we gather with deep gratitude and pride to celebrate International Nurses Day, a day dedicated to honoring the incredible individuals who stand in the heart of healthcare, our nurses. Nurses are quite heroes among us. They are the first to overcome moments of fear, the steady hands that heals, and the compassionate listeners when words fall short. Whether in bustling hospitals, area health centers, remote rural health clinics, or crisis zones, nurses show up day after day and night after night with skills, strength, and unwavering commitment.
A senior nurse serving at the National Referral Hospital, Crystal Horoto, expressed enthusiasm for celebrating the day.
Yeah, me happy too much for celebrating this day. Yeah, I want for a day where I got to acknowledge my colleagues, and I got to experience the many challenges that we've gone through. But of course, today is a day where me always look forward for. I think the highlight for today is the theme itself. Yeah, the theme says that, strengthen nurses, strengthens economy. So the theme and the challenges of strengthening the economy is something that, we all should, it's not one-way traffic. It needs, a holistic approach. And that holistic approach is something that, I'm proud of being a nurse in Solomon Islands. Sometimes we say that working with limited resources gives you the strength to move forward.
International Nurses Day is celebrated annually on May 12. Alex Dadamu for SIBC TV.
The second phase of the cleanup and assessment of the MV Solomon Trader oil spill has revealed that the extent of damage to marine areas is greater than previously reported. Minister of Environment and Climate Change Disaster Management, Honorable Trevor Mahaga, revealed in Parliament today. He said recovery of the marine life in Kagawa Bay has been heavily impacted by the oil spill. The second phase of the assessment is funded by the Australian government.
A second phase environmental damage assessment, Mr. Speaker, was proposed to assess the recovery of the polluted area around Kagawa Bay. However, this did not eventuate, Mr. Speaker, until this year, 2025, when the Australian government was providing funding support to the EDA Phase 2 work, which was conducted last month by an international consultancy group in collaboration with the Ministry of Environment, which is my ministry, and Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources, Mr. Speaker. The co-work completed from this assessment as follows, Mr. Speaker. Over 100 underwater transects of fish, invertebrates, and benthic cover. 290 samples of marine sediments, fish, and invertebrates for hydrocarbon and TBT analysis. Detailed underwater and UAV surveys of the extent of grounding area impacts, and fourth community meetings at both Labangu and Abatai. Some initial observations are as follows, Mr. Speaker. One, oil at its doubles and parties is still present on the reef and the beach at several locations within Kagawa Bay. Second, the main grounding area has not been recovered as much as would be naturally expected, Mr. Speaker. Third, we have also identified several new areas of the reef that the ship impacted and caused significant damage. The rubble the ship blasted into the lagoon from the propeller was has spread over a large area of the lagoon with limited recovery. There was also a significant reduction in clam populations across many of the lagoon areas around Kagawa Bay. The community area generally was frustrated about the lack of information for the past 6 years, Mr. Speaker, based on observations of oil still on the reef or beach around the community. The recovery of the reefs, Mr. Speaker, within the grounding area could be supported with some active rehabilitation efforts. There was a strong support for this at the community meetings, although some members rightly asked where funds for such an initiative would come from. Finally, Mr. Speaker, on the positive side, the oil on the shoreline has largely weathered and only patchy areas still present. The ministry is still to receive the full environmental damage assessment phase 2 report. This report will enable the ministry to assist the ongoing legal proceedings of the compensation claims, Mr. Speaker.
Meanwhile, Attorney General John Muria Jr. confirmed that a legal claim has been filed in the High Court to hold the owners of MV Solomon Trader accountable for the environmental disaster.
A claim has been filed in the High Court for negligence and damages, and also second part of the claim in relation to the Banca Convention. The claim, first claimant is the Attorney General, and the second claimant is the landowners law, Reno Island. We have served, we have applied for substituted service law of the parties, which is the current KPNI and also BMC. And that matter, pleadings is still open, and we're still progressing with the claim.
In February 2019, the bulk carrier MV Solomon Trader ran aground off the coast of Reno Island, resulting in a significant oil spill. The spill leaked over 300 tons of heavy fuel oil into the marine environment, impacting local communities, fishing grounds and water supplies. Now, stakeholders and representatives from across the Pacific have gathered in Honiara this week for the annual steering committee meeting of the Climate and Ocean Support Program in the Pacific. A 5-day event aimed at reviewing progress, addressing challenges and enhancing regional cooperation in climate and ocean science services. Alex Dedamu reports.
Stakeholders and representatives from across the Pacific are meeting in Honiara this week for the annual steering committee meeting of the Climate and Ocean Support Program in the Pacific COSPAC. The 5-day event will review the program's achievements, address ongoing challenges, and strengthen collaboration to deliver effective climate and ocean science services across the region. Ministry of Environment, Climate Change, Disaster Management and Meteorology Deputy Secretary Corporate, Mr. Carl Cooper, said in its continued work towards preparedness and resilience against climate change, Solomon Islands is pleased to host this regional event.
Solomon Islands, I'm happy for hosting this regional COSPAC meeting for, in particular, in our continued preparedness and resilience against climate change and the harsh weather conditions. COSPAC, regional initiative for helping me for providing tailor-made and information services for weather and climate services for any particular users. So through this series of meetings, we're going to try for developing the tools whereby not only can be used by meteorological services, but also other specific users such as farms. As you know, mifal garem to specific weather and climate information system for Sape farm and one other farm. So through the discussions also, we come up with better information for decision making, weather and climate information for government and specific users for decision making.
Meanwhile, Mr. Levu Antfalo, the chair of the Pacific Meteorological Council, welcomed this week's agenda, which is structured around critical objectives.
But beyond this week's agenda, we must look ahead, beyond COSPAC 3. I believe this is questions in minds of directors in the Pacific, especially Pacific Meteorological Directors, and plan for programs next phase. What are the successes we can scale? What are the gaps we need to close? I believe COSPAC should play a more active role in the Regional Climate Center and Regional Training Center and other coordination platforms. The program must support scientific product development and contribute to national and regional obligations. I commend the Supreme Leadership for establishing a new Climate Science and Information Division to continue its regional coordination functions of meteorological services. Moving forward, I believe that we must seriously consider the regional alignments as well as to ensure that we are better coordinated with other meteorological initiatives in the region, such as weather reading.
It is understood that the COSPAC works with Pacific Island stakeholders to analyze and interpret climate, oceans, and tidal data to produce valuable services for island communities. This information helps island communities to prepare for and mitigate the impacts of severe climate, tidal, and oceanographic events. Alex Dedamu for SIBC TV.
The Member of Parliament for East Honiara constituency, Honourable Maurice Toiraina, has been elected as the new Deputy Speaker of the National Parliament. Honourable Toiraina's nomination was put forward by the Minister of Police and Correctional Services and MP for Gizo Kolobangara constituency, Honourable Jimson Tanagada. It was the only nomination received and was subsequently endorsed by Parliament. Addressing Parliament after his election, Honourable Toiraina said he is honoured to take up the National Parliament Deputy Speaker position.
I'm honoured and humbled of the announcement that was made now. I wish to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the Speaker, the Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Cabinet members, the members of Parliament, of the 12th Parliament. Thank you very much for the trust, confidence that you placed in me by electing me as a Deputy Speaker of Parliament. This is a new duty, new responsibility, and I know him by heart. However, I'm ready to embrace the challenge ahead. And with your continued support and cooperation, I am confident that I can carry out this solemn responsibility with dedication, love, and commitment to serve you, Parliament members, and our people of Solomon Island in this honourable House. Once again, thank you very much.
The recently held internal review workshop on the proposed mangrove management policy organised by the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change, Disaster Management and Meteorology is in preparation for a stakeholders meeting next month. Sami Airahui, National Project Coordinator for the Mac Blue project in Solomon Islands, said this will provide a broader view on moving forward with the policy.
For preparation for stakeholder consultation too. Yeah, so this internal review will prepare us for the stakeholder consultation that will be organized and proposed for next month. So there will be a roadmap for organizing a broader consultation workshop in June. So this one behind giving you more broader view of how we will go forward with this mangrove policy. Draft policy itself and integrating the feedbacks from earlier consultations and also the workshops that we organize like one for 2 days and next month and before September, and perhaps even as an internal review process for key stakeholders within the government to reassess again the policy alignment with national and international environment commitments, as well as practically for the local communities across the country.
The policy is part of a broader integrated coastal zone management framework and has undergone several rounds of consultations and revisions supported by Solomon Islands National University, Korea Environmental Institute, Climate Technology Centre and Network, and the Solomon Islands Government. And that's news. Follow us on sibconline.com.sb and our SIBC News Facebook page for more of our latest stories. Thanks for watching.